the invitation that opened old wounds. The day I turned 18, a chill wind whipped through the air, mirroring the coldness in my parents' eyes as they delivered their parting gift, eviction from the only home I'd ever known. It wasn't a surprise, really. Their indifference had always been a suffocating presence in my life, a silent torment that chipped away at my self-worth. But on that day, as they loaded their RV for a cross-country adventure, their laughter echoing cruelly in the empty driveway, a visceral rage ignited within me, a burning ember of resentment that refused to be extinguished. A decade passed, a decade in which I painstakingly rebuilt my life, brick by brick, far from the toxic wasteland of my childhood. I found solace in the arms of a loving wife, basked in the warmth of my son's laughter, and forged a career that defied my parents' dismissive predictions. Yet, the wounds of the past lingered, a phantom limb that ached with every milestone, every happy memory. Then, like a specter rising from the ashes, an email arrived, shattering the fragile peace I had cultivated. My estranged parents, the architects of my abandonment, expressed a desire to reconcile, to meet their grandson. The words danced on the screen, a cruel taunt, a twisted mockery of the love and support they had never offered. A tempest raged within me, a battle between the yearning for closure and the fear of further betrayal. My wife, her heart overflowing with empathy, gently urged me to extend an olive branch. She had been raised by her grandparents, her own parents stolen by a cruel twist of fate, and she yearned for the familial connection that had been denied to her. Torn between my wife's hopes and my own deep-seated reservations, I reluctantly agreed to invite my parents to my son's third birthday party. It was a gamble, a desperate grasp at a lifeline that might lead to healing or plunge me deeper into despair. The day of the party arrived, a bright and sunny afternoon that mocked the darkness swirling within me. My parents arrived early, their faces adorned with practiced smiles that failed to reach their eyes. They lavished compliments upon my wife and son, their feigned affection a grotesque parody of genuine love. But as soon as my wife excused herself to prepare tea, their masks slipped, revealing the true purpose of their visit. "We are in a dire financial situation," my mother confessed, her voice a brittle whisper. "We need your help." A cold dread washed over me, my heart plummeting into the abyss of despair. Their apologies, their eagerness to reconnect. It was all a lie, a carefully constructed manipulation designed to exploit my success. I felt a surge of nausea, a visceral disgust for their selfishness and utter disregard for my well-being. The rest of the party was a surreal nightmare, a macabre dance of forced smiles and hollow pleasantries. I moved through the motions, a puppet on a string, while my mind raged with a torrent of emotions. When they cornered me again, their eyes gleaming with greed, I could no longer suppress the inferno that raged within me. "Just wait," I snarled, my voice dripping with venom. "I'll give you an answer soon." Later, as my son gleefully blew out the candles on his cake, surrounded by the warmth and love of our friends and family, I decided to unleash the fury that had simmered for a decade. I stepped into the center of the living room, my voice echoing with the weight of 1,000 unspoken grievances. "Ladies and gentlemen," I began, my words slicing through the cheerful atmosphere like a razor blade, "I'd like to introduce you to my parents, the ones who cast me out on my 18th birthday, leaving me to navigate the treacherous waters of adulthood alone. The ones who, after a decade of silence, have crawled back, not out of love or remorse, but out of a desperate need for money." A hush fell over the room, the air thick with tension. I continued, my voice a raw, unfiltered outpouring of pain and anger. I recounted the years of neglect, the emotional scars, the countless nights spent crying myself to sleep, wondering why I wasn't good enough. As my words hung in the air, I saw a flicker of recognition in the eyes of some guests, a silent acknowledgement of the unspoken truths that had been buried for so long. But my parents, their faces contorted with rage and humiliation, could only stare at me in disbelief. The party ended abruptly, the atmosphere poisoned by the toxic revelation. My parents stormed out, their parting glares a chilling reminder of the animosity that would forever define our relationship. My wife, initially furious at my outburst, eventually softened as I explained the depth of my pain and betrayal. Days turned into a tense truce, a fragile peace brokered by a shared understanding of the wounds we had both endured. We sought solace in therapy, hoping to untangle the knots of resentment and find a path towards healing. But just as a glimmer of hope emerged, my parents delivered their final blow. They filed a lawsuit against me, a baseless accusation of theft designed to extort money and inflict further pain. The audacity of their claim was breathtaking, a testament to their unwavering selfishness. Fueled by righteous anger, I took to social media, exposing their lies and the complicity of my extended family. The online community rallied behind me, their support a beacon of light in the darkness. Under the weight of public scrutiny, my parents withdrew their lawsuit, their reputation in tatters. The ordeal left me scarred but unbowed. I had faced the demons of my past, confronted the pain that had haunted me for so long, and in the aftermath, I found solace in the love of my wife and son, the true family I had chosen. As I look back on this tumultuous chapter, I am filled with both sorrow and gratitude. Sorrow for the love that was never given, gratitude for the love that I have found. And as I move forward, I carry with me the lessons learned, the scars that have shaped me, and the unwavering belief that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for a brighter tomorrow.